Hey Rick, where does money come from? Like, do they just print it at some building or something?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Morty. That's actually a great question for once, which is terrifying because it means you accidentally stumbled onto one of the biggest scams in human history. And yeah, there's a building in Washington, D.C., where they turn paper into money, running these machines 24/7, pumping out like $500 million a day. But here's the thing that's gonna blow your tiny mind, Morty, that's basically pocket change. That's the government's way of making you think you understand money while they're doing something way more insane behind the curtain. Most money, Morty, we're talking like 90% of it doesn't exist. It's digital. It's numbers on a screen. And get this, that number goes up by more than $4 billion every single day. Not from printing, Morty, from typing. Someone literally just types it into existence like they're writing a fan fiction about economics.
Wait, Rick. So you're telling me money is just made up? Like someone just types numbers and suddenly there's more money?
Now you're getting it. Finally! Yes, Morty, money is the greatest magic trick ever performed, except instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, we're pulling economic collapse out of our collective. Anyway, let me take you back, way back, before humans figured out this whole beautiful disaster. Thousands of years ago, right? Farmer Joe needs a new tool. He goes to the local toolmaker, but he's got nothing to trade except his word. So they make a deal. Hey, I'll give you something later. And because humans were still naive enough to trust each other, that promise became payment. The toolmaker literally accepted an IOU. That's it. That's money's origin story, Morty. It's just fancy IOUs all the way down. Weeks later, Farmer Joe comes back with food, everyone's happy, and boom! You got the foundation of every economic system that's ever existed. Trade based on trust and future value.
Okay, but Rick, that seems pretty simple and like kind of nice. What happened?
What happened? Civilization happened, Morty. People got greedy and creative, which is a dangerous combination. They started using stuff everybody needed, cattle, grain, salt as payment. These things were valuable because they were useful and scarce. You can just magic up a cow, Morty. Well, I can, but that's beside the point. This made trading faster and fairer. No more L. Give you 3 chickens for that axe negotiations. But then, and here's where it gets good, people realized carrying a cow to buy bread is absolutely ridiculous. So they invented metal coins, gold, silver, shiny stuff that doesn't rot and is easy to carry around. Suddenly, global trade exploded. China, Europe, everyone's trading with these little metal discs. But then, surprise, surprise, carrying large amounts of gold is dangerous because humans are terrible and will absolutely murder you for shiny rocks.
So what did they do, Rick? Did they just stop using gold?
No, Morty. They got smarter about being dumb. In 17th century London, these guys called goldsmiths started storing people's gold for them and giving them paper receipts. Just paper, Morty. Literally worthless paper that said, hey, I've got your gold, don't worry about it. And people trusted this. They'd trade these paper notes instead of the actual gold. Now here's where it gets absolutely beautiful in the most dystopian way possible. The goldsmiths noticed something. Most people never came back for their gold. They just kept trading the paper notes. So these goldsmiths, being the entrepreneurial sociopaths they were, thought, hey, what if we lend out more paper notes than we actually have gold? And they did it. They just started creating money out of thin air. They'd have, say, 100 ounces of gold, but they'd write notes for 200 ounces. Boom. New money that didn't exist before. And when people paid back these loans with interest, the goldsmiths made pure profit on money they literally imagined into existence.
Wait, but Rick, isn't that like fraud? Shouldn't they go to jail or something?
Oh, Morty, you sweet summer child. That's not fraud. That's modern banking. Replace goldsmiths with banks, replace paper notes with digital numbers, and congratulations, you've just described exactly how your economy works right now. The whole thing, Morty! The entire financial system is built on this exact scam, except now it's legal and we call it fractional reserve banking. Today, most money exists digitally. Your bank balance? That's not real money sitting in a vault with your name on it. It's a promise. It's the bank saying, yeah, we'll give you that money if you ask for it, knowing full well that if everyone asked at the same time, they'd be screwed harder than that time we broke reality in Dimension C-137.
So banks are just lying to everyone?
No, Morty, they're not lying. They're participating in a mutually agreed upon delusion to keep civilization running. When banks give out loans, they don't take money from deposits and hand it to borrowers. They just type new numbers into an account. Poof! Money created. And when you pay back that loan, the money disappears, vanishes, leaving only the interest as profit. From one loan, the total amount of money in existence increases without a single new dollar being printed. It's financial alchemy, Morty, except instead of turning lead into gold, we're turning debt into economic growth. Now you might be thinking, Rick, if we can just create infinite money, why doesn't everyone just do that and we all become rich? And that's because of a little thing called inflation.
Inflation? Isn't that like when things cost more?
Yes, Morty. Gold star for you. When money grows faster than actual productivity, meaning actual goods and services being produced, then money becomes worth less. It's supply and demand, but for money itself. If everyone suddenly has twice as much money but there's the same amount of stuff to buy, prices just double. You're not richer, you're just using bigger numbers, like changing your measuring system from inches to centimeters and pretending you grew. Without new money, though, economies stagnate. Wealth pools up with whoever has it. Nobody can afford to buy anything. Businesses collapse. Civilization grinds to a halt. So you need new money flowing into the system. Banks creating loans actually helps businesses grow. Products get made. Infrastructure gets built. It's not all bad, Morty. It's just insane.
Okay, but who controls all this? Like, who decides how much money gets created?
Great question. That's where central banks come in, the Federal Reserve in the US, for example. They're supposed to be the adults in the room, making sure banks don't go too crazy with their magic money creation powers. Modern banks can create money almost freely now, but they need to keep reserves with the central bank. Not reserves of actual money, Morty. Reserves of promises of money. It's IOUs all the way down, just like I said. And governments? Oh, governments are the biggest players in this game. They create money by issuing bonds, which are basically fancy IOUs that say, give us money now, we'll pay you back later with interest. Banks and investors buy these bonds, and boom, the government has new money to spend. But here's the kicker, Morty. Governments spend more than they earn. Always. Every year. So they keep issuing more bonds, more debt, and the debt just grows and grows and grows like a cancerous tumor made of numbers.
That sounds really bad, Rick. Shouldn't we, stop doing that?
Well, yes, but actually no. See, this debt-based system powers most modern economies. Everyone's in debt to everyone else, and as long as everyone keeps believing in the system and keeps paying their interest, it works. It's a global Ponzi scheme, but it's the only Ponzi scheme that's actually built roads and hospitals and, civilization. Is it efficient? Hell no. Is it fair? Absolutely not. Could we do better by investing new money into productive stuff like education and infrastructure instead of just funneling it to banks and the wealthy? Obviously. But that would require humans to make intelligent collective decisions. And Morty, if there's one thing I've learned in all my years across infinite dimensions, it's that humans are spectacularly bad at that. The whole system runs on trust, Morty. Trust that the paper is worth something. Trust that the digital numbers mean something. Trust that when you go to the bank, they'll give you your money. And as long as that trust holds, money is real. The second that trust breaks, and it has broken throughout history, the whole thing collapses faster than your chances with Jessica.
Oh, geez, Rick. Did you have to bring up Jessica?
Yes, Morty, I did, because it's the perfect metaphor. Your relationship with money is exactly like your relationship with Jessica, built on desperate hope, destined for disappointment, and fundamentally based on something that doesn't actually exist. The difference is money occasionally pays dividends. So there you go, Morty. Money is simultaneously real and fake, valuable and worthless, necessary and completely arbitrary. It's the greatest shared hallucination humanity ever created, and we all participate because the alternative is trading chickens for bread. And honestly, that sounds exhausting. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go counterfeit some interdimensional currency before the Council of Ricks notices their reserves are running low. Wubba lubba dub dub.